Right, this is Linton the Swarm Vassal, Bellator light heavyweight contender, and you're watching the MMA Crypt Fighting Talk Show.
Hey guys, Gregory Stone and MakeUp.com. On today's show, we're speaking with Colin Fletcher. Colin's set to take on Andre Winner in a rematch of sorts at tomorrow night's BAMMA. That's BAMMA 20. The debut of BAMMA on the new Spike TV channel in the UK. Obviously, they parted ways with Channel 5 back in 2013, but they're back together in the form of Spike TV. So that takes place tomorrow night. You can catch the action 10 PM onwards. So I talked to Colin today on the interview about Andre Winner, the rematch, of course. We'll talk a little bit about the kickboxing bout. We also talk about Colin's new 8-fight contract. That's massive. We know BAMMA obviously wanted to tie Colin down, but why did Colin want to sign a long contract with BAMMA? You will find out in this interview. But we'll kick things off with Colin Fletcher discussing the new TV deal. Is he the type of fighter who really cares what type of TV deal his promotion gets? Let's find out.
I'm kind of bipolar. In some ways, I don't care as long as I'm having a fight with someone who can beat us. And then in other ways, I think I can get better sponsors. I can, get more coverage, get more fans and things like that. So it's all good, you know what I mean? But I'm a bit bipolar. So sometimes I care. Sometimes I just want to put my head down and focus on fighting me boobs off.
Well, speaking of deals being signed, Colin, I noticed that you signed a new deal with BAMMA. It's for 7 fights, so I believe. Is that correct, Colin?
I did. It was an 8-fight contract, mate. I signed.
Oh, 5-fight contract.
What's that?
A 5-fight contract.
No, it was 8.
8?
Yeah, 8. Yeah.
Well, your last contract was 4, because you had 4 fights with BAMMA on your return to them, of course, post the Ultimate Fighter smashes. So you've literally doubled the fights of your previous contract. Could you tell us why you signed such a long contract there, Colin?
No idea. They offered it. To be honest with you, they offered it before I was out with my 4-fight contract, and I just said, "I write up whatever you want, and I'll sign it. I'm happy to work with you, fight with you, do whatever you want, really." So it's just pretty easy, really. They kind of look after me, BAMMA, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got no grumbles with how they treat us and how they pay us, really. So that was just nice and easy. Boom, on to the next one.
Well, obviously, it shows the faith shown in you by BAMMA. They have a lot of faith in you that you can carry that promotion forward. Obviously, they've got some big plans for you anyway. That for an 8-fight deal, with the last one being 4, and usually fight contracts are roughly between 4 and 6, I would say. So 8's quite long. What sort of faith do you have in BAMMA? Was there like talks beforehand about the direction they want to go with you? Because obviously you come in, you had your first fight which you won, then you got the title shot, and then you had sort of 2 fun fights. What sort of direction did they discuss directions with you? Where they want to take Colin Fletcher, and what sort of part you're going to play in their promotion in the next 8 fights?
Not really, mate. To be honest with you, I just kind of just said the same thing I've been saying for years and years and years with BAMMA. You know what I mean? As long as I'm getting good fights, with the possibility of being beaten, I'll fight anybody. Really, I'm like pretty easy to match up. As long as I don't train with the guys or know them personally, I'm good to go, really. So whatever they think and whatever's available at the time, you know what I mean? I think some things have been off the table and some things are on the table, so I just took whatever they've asked us, really. You know what I mean?
I noticed probably the last 3 BAMMA events, they've been promoting the New Age BAMMA. I'm sort of lost as to what that means. Obviously, we've sort of been through a rejuvenation process. Well, that's my question I wanted to ask you. Have you sort of spoke to the roster of fighters and said, look, this is what the New Age is about, and sort of signalled their intentions?
Yeah. No, not really. Not with me. I think maybe it's because reading between the lines, I was thinking that they were doing that with because they've been fetching some young guys in and like kind of pushing those forward, you know what I mean, rather than using old names and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, there are still a few of us dinosaurs still there, so...
You're not a dinosaur yet, Colin.
I'm getting there. No, but you know what I mean. So I think they're trying to fetch some new hot young talent through, and I think that's what the New Age thing's more about than and obviously they're going to have the like the fan favourites and stuff still sneaking around there, putting in appearances on there.
Well, BAMMA are really rallying this year. Consecutive events, back to back, no 4 months break in between. Obviously, we know that Cage Warriors, they're in a bit of limbo at the minute. BAMMA was the #1 UK promotion. Cage Warriors last 2 years sort of maybe just overtook them. Obviously, it's a matter of opinion between the fans. But obviously, Cage Warriors in a bit of trouble now, in a bit of limbo. Do you sort of see BAMMA now being sort of unstoppable and being the #1 in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, who knows what's happening with Cage Warriors, but I mean, to be totally truthful with you, I'm hoping that they get the things sorted and they get back to where they were, because they were a fantastic show, you know what I mean? But that being said, I love BAMMA, you know what I mean? I'm happy to work for BAMMA. I've kind of worked with them for a long, long time now. And to be honest with you, I know they've had a few problems and things in the past, but everything looks as sweet as a nut lately, so I'm just hoping they kind of continue this momentum and do kind of cement like a big place in UK MMA, because it's important to have things like terrestrial TV deals, and it pushes the sport on really, really well, I think.
You mentioned that you don't want Cage Warriors to go under, you like to see them stick around, but if they did possibly fold, that would leave a lot of free agents there. They've got some pretty decent names in the lightweight roster. Would it sort of excite you, Colin, to, these guys came over? It's obviously a lot of decent names there, a lot of good fights for you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like I mentioned before, I'm very, very, very easy to match. If BAMMA kind of come to me and say, I think, well, to be honest with you, BAMMA would never come to me and say, I think this is a fight you're going to lose. But when they fetch fights to me that I've got like a high risk factor, you know what I mean? I think I'm going to have to drag my arse into the gym there and get grafting to fight this guy. They're the kind of fights I want, you know what I mean? They're the kind of fights I like to take. So, yeah, if somebody's decent enough to be beating me, then I'm happy enough to be fighting them.
Well, you talked about, people, you want to face people who can possibly beat you. Obviously, Mansouri beat before. It's not a fight that you're itching to get, but it's a fight you would like. I did notice a few months ago it sort of flew under the radar. He did post on his Facebook. He made a come and get me plea to the UFC. I don't know if you noticed that, Colin. Did you know that?
No, I didn't realise. You know what I mean? I don't pay much attention in
and
what other people do, to be totally honest with you.
Well, if you couple that with the fact that his last defence was against you, and you've had 2 fights since then, it doesn't look like Mansour would be returning anytime soon to BAMMA.
I know. I kind of got that feeling, you know what I mean? But I just honestly haven't got a clue what he's up to at the moment, what's going on with him. I knew he injured himself quite a while ago, I think now, but like I say, have
you took him off your radar now, Colin? Is he sort of off your radar
now?
No,
not really. No, totally not. You know what I mean? I'm happy to fight him if it's on the table. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna kind of waste my own energies by getting myself all irate about it. You know what I mean? I'm just happy to fight whoever BAMMA want me to fight. You know what I mean? If it was there and it made sense, I'm sure they'd set it up. But I honestly don't know what's wrong with the kid. I don't know what's happening with him. Might have whatever's happening with his personal life or whatever is the reason for him not fighting such a extensive time. You know what I mean? I don't think that suits anybody really. So as that kind of travels further down the line, it kind of, in a way, it kind of leans us towards fighting other people. You know what I mean? Because I kind of outright said I wanted to fight him again, and then it just drifted off and didn't happen, and kind of, I mean, I'm the last person he's fought, you know what I mean? And like you see, I've fought 2 K1 fights and 2 MMA fights since, so I've had 4 fights since then.
If he does leave and vacates the title, have you got a radar on that title? Would you like to possibly fight for it again? Or are you not too fussed about the title?
I mean, I've kind of openly said this a few times that like I'm just not bothered about titles, to be honest with you. It makes no difference to me. Whether I win loads of titles or whether I just have some good fights and have some fun, you know what I mean? Because for me, it's my life to live, you know what I mean? I want to have some fun with it before a leg drops off.
Well, let's talk about your upcoming fight. It is against Andre Winner at BAMMA 20. That takes place April 25th. Obviously, that's going to be the first BAMMA event shown on Spike TV UK, so that's pretty exciting. Now, I want to know, Colin, how did this bout come to be? Because you recently had a K1 bout. You just mentioned one of your K1, well, two of your K1 bouts. One of them was against Andre Winner, which you actually took a decision, so I believe.
Yeah.
Was that sort of the reasoning for making a MMA bout between you both because of the kickboxing bout?
I'm not so sure. You know what I mean? Because I kind of fought Andre because at K1 because I thought that was predominantly his strengths. You know what I mean? So I thought, well, I'll have a fight with Dre in a K1 style because I thought he could, like you say, I've mentioned before, there's a chance he could beat us, you know what I mean, because I thought they were his strengths. And I felt comfortable throughout the whole fight, but I kind of didn't, it was like a K1 fight, so I didn't really like put everything on the table, you know what I mean, and maybe he didn't, you know what I mean, but I kind of felt comfortable beating him at his own game. But that being said, Dre's the kind of person who, I think unless you beat him outright, he'll disagree with the decision all day long. So going into this fight, my motivation is to stop the fight. Like, I want to get this fight finished. I don't want any decisions. I want a clear victory, you know what I mean?
Does that sort of give you added confidence that you beat him at his own game? Now it's MMA. We know you have excellent ground skills, BJJ-wise anyway. Pretty decent up against the cage. So does that give you any confidence now that you can really defeat him at BAMMA 20 in a MMA bout? Obviously, we know in kickboxing the gloves and the way you position your hands and defense, etc., is totally different.
No, not really, because I'm just not a confident person, to be honest with you. I'm just a bit of a as much as I act all happy and stuff all the time, I'm quite unconfident when it comes to my fights, you know what I mean? That's what motivates us to get in the gym and work so hard. I'm kind of training 6 to 8 hours a day and running 6.5 miles every other day, basically just to kind of make myself feel like I can compete, you know what I mean? I'm just an average guy, really. I'm not like fantastic in any department. I just like to have a laugh, love to have a fight, but I need to work hard at it, you know what I mean? And that's what I do, you know what I mean? I go in that gym and I bust my arse to try and make myself confident, and it never really seems to find us.
Well, you talked about looking at it in the gym. A lot of the time, that's where a fight is won or lost. You know, if you prepare properly, you're in shape.
Yeah, of course.
You put the work in. Now, obviously, it all goes on mindset, your determination. Now, obviously, we know Ross Pearson defeated him for the Ultimate Fight UK versus United States. Obviously, you're related to Ross, friends with him, etc. Now you beat him in kickboxing. Do you think that sort of gives him added determination to train for this bout with you, to sort of get the win back and put one over you?
I hope so, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm hoping for. That's exactly what I'd be doing if I was in his position, and that's like a big part of what I'm thinking, you know what I mean? I'm thinking he's wanting revenge, like, and that's going to make him bigger for me, so with that in my mind, that's going to make me train.
Obviously you beat him in the kickboxing bout. I cannot find that fight anywhere, Colin. Could you describe to the listeners and myself how that fight actually went between you both? Was it a close fight?
Yeah, it was relatively close, you know what I mean? I think he may or may not have picked up one of the rounds, but I felt kind of confident, and I was finding me using my range well and things like that, so I just felt like I could pick him off with most of my shots and move round, and there were points where Dre was kind of like coasting us on and saying, come on, and I was kind of just smiling at him, taking my time and fighting him at range, you know what I mean? Like I mentioned before, I wasn't there for an all-out war. I was there for kind of like a bit of a chess match, you know what I mean? Trying to suss him out a little bit, and I feel like I did a little bit, so I've got some ideas going into this of things that I can use, you know what I mean? And obviously that comes into my mind when I'm training and things like that, but I think, like I said, he's one tough bastard, you know what I mean? And he's going to come at us hard, and he's after revenge, so I'm just going to try and finish the fight, you know what I mean? I want to, like, not any decisions in this one, you know what I mean? Because as much as I thought I kind of clearly won and felt comfortable. Whether that was in his head or not is a different matter altogether.
Well, you mentioned that the kickboxing is his strong suit. Well, that's what you believed was his strong suit. Now, not for that reason, but because you beat him in a kickboxing bout, do you think that he's going to try and keep the fight standing with you at BAMMA 20, just to sort of prove something to himself, that he can defeat you on the feet, possibly?
I'm not sure really. You know what I mean? I don't know kind of what his mindset will be going into it. Whether he's going to look to kind of fight the clinch game, or I'm not ruling anything out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
An MMA fighter, and that's the kind of fight we're having. When we had a K1 fight, I was a little bit more relaxed and held back because, you know what I mean, 6'2" at lightweight, 81-inch reach. It's quite extensive, you know what I mean. So I want to just pick him around and feel out the fight. This is going to be totally different because I think there's going to be points in time where if I do that in this fight, he's going to want to rush us, and they're going to want to close the distance and things like that. So just going to play it by ear really, because I can fight on the inside as well. I think if it goes to ground, I'm more than capable of dealing with it on the ground. So just going to kind of let him lead off and try and capitalise on any little mistakes he makes.
Just two final questions there, Colin. How do you think that Andre is going to approach the fight? He seems like a respectful sort of person in interviews, etc. So you're expecting in interviews and maybe the weigh-ins, etc., that he's going to be pretty respectful towards you. Obviously, we mentioned the two losses to you and Ross. So obviously, he might be a little bit upset and wanting revenge. But do you think he's going to approach you with respect and just do the business in the cage?
Totally. Yeah, totally. I mean, I've trained with Dre in the past down at the house. I've known him for like a number of years now, you know what I mean? So I think it's going to be very respectful between us, you know what I mean? Because we know each other, we're friends with each other's training partners, we'll get on well, you know what I mean? So I think just when it comes down to it, we're just going to go to battle for that 15 minutes, and the rest of it will be just like we are, just have a bit of crack.
Random question here, Colin. There was a picture posted with you and Norman Park together. He was licking your head for some apparent reason. We do not know. It looks like you had cake on your head. Could you tell us what he was licking off your head?
I can't. You're going to have to wait for the little... There's going to be a video at the follow. I'll not spoil it for you, because if I tell you, it'll spoil it.
Okay,
You'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see, but it'll be worth the wait, I promise.
Well, you heard it there, listeners. Okay, Colin, a message for the fans. They'll be tuned in live April 25th to see you take on Andre Winner.
Yep.
Is there a message for the fans there, Colin?
Yeah. I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed half as much as me, and you won't be disappointed. You know what I mean? I've got some crazy little ideas and crazy little things I've been working on to have some fun in and outside of the cage. So just don't miss it.
Well, I'm not going to ask you for your walkout because you never tell us, Colin. So I'm not even going to attempt this time.
Yeah. You know me.
Okay, from the MMA Crip Fighting Talk Show, as always, thank you for watching.